Inner light, esoteric wisdom descends into the abyss, shadows beneath the name, encountering the Shem HaMephorash. There are mysteries which lie dormant in sacred texts, cryptic and coiled, waiting for eyes bold enough to unearth them. The Shem HaMephorash, 72 ineffable names, 72 angelic intelligences, is among the most formidable. To most, these names are a footnote in Jewish mysticism, a curiosity for scholars or the pious. But in the echoing corridors of Kabbalistic tradition, these angels pulse with a power both resplendent and terrifying, each a node in a web that binds the cosmos, each a threshold that can as easily beckon as destroy. The world, say the mystics, is not a simple tapestry of light, but an intricate weaving of shadow and radiance. The 72 angels are not relics but living equations, each one a key, a curse, a potential catastrophe. To speak of the Shem HaMephorash is to step past the edge of reason, into territory from which few return unchanged. The cryptic Genesis, Exodus, and the sacred Cipher. The story begins, as so many do, in the Torah, in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verses 19 to 21. On the surface, a miracle, the parting of the Red Sea, the suspension of nature's law at the hand of Moses. Yet for those who count the letters in the original Hebrew, a pattern emerges, chilling and hypnotic. Each of these 3 verses contains exactly 72 letters. Medieval Kabbalists saw not coincidence but a deliberate cipher, a riddle set by a God who both reveals and destroys. They wrote the verses in alternating directions, the first from right to left, the next from left to right, the third from right to left again. From this lattice, 72 vertical columns appeared, each a triad of letters. These are not words in the ordinary sense, but codes, roots of power, the scaffolding for the miracle itself. Just as Moses split the sea, so too, it is said, can the adept, trembling before the abyss, split the veil between worlds, if they dare. Names as keys, the birth of the angelic presences. Yet these triads were never meant for mortal tongues. To make them usable, for summoning, for prayer, for theurgy, the Kabbalists grafted divine suffixes onto each triad, El for mercy and might, Yah for wisdom and flame. In so doing, they gave each code a face, a voice, a will. Vihuya, Gilil, Citterel, Elamaiah, 72 in all, each a sentinel, a potential blessing, a potential curse. These names are not a simple roll call of angelic functionaries. They are living symbols, each a point of contact with the divine, but also a potential wound. To utter a name is to draw the gaze of something vast and indifferent, to risk being seen by the machinery behind the veil. Every name is a door, and every door opens onto a corridor lined with both promise and peril. Secrets escaping shadows, from Safed to the occult west. For centuries, the knowledge of the 72 remained hidden in the shadows of Safed, passed down in whispers and encoded texts. But secrets, like curses, have a way of escaping. During the Renaissance, Christian scholars hungry for forbidden power prized open the vaults of Jewish Kabbalah. Giovanni Pico della Mirandola and Johannes Reuchlin were among the first to expose these names to the West. In the candlelit silence of their studies, the angels became not only objects of prayer, but tools for domination, for bending the world to human will. Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa, the great synthesizer of occult lore, gave the angels astrological bodies, planetary thrones, elemental dominions. John Dee, magician to the Queen, sought to speak with angels directly, to rewrite the world through their power. In the shadowed halls of the Golden Dawn, the angels were mapped onto the tarot, transformed into engines of fate and prophecy. But every act of revelation was also a risk. For every magician who found wisdom, another was lost to obsession, paranoia, or ruin. The angels do not come for free. Celestial machinery, angels as engines of fate. The 72 are not mere servants. They are the machinery of providence, the gears and cogs of destiny itself. Each is chained to a 5-degree segment of the zodiac, Equinox. Each rules over 5 days of the year, 20 minutes of every day. The year is their calendar, the night their dominion. To summon an angel is to step into the whirring gears of the cosmos, to risk being crushed beneath their weight. The magician who calculates the astrological moment who aligns candles and sigils and trembling words, does so at the edge of a bottomless abyss. The consequences are never certain. Each angel is a specialist in both terror and transformation. Vihuya brings victory, but often at the price of self-destruction. Haziel offers mercy, but mercy can be a blade that cuts away all you love. Nith-Haiah opens the doors of occult knowledge, but knowledge itself is poison as much as cure. The boundaries between healing and harm, between guardian and tormentor, are blurred and shifting. Invocation and dread, facing the angelic presence. The Kabbalistic universe is a hierarchy of horror as much as light. Absoluth, the world of emanation; Briah, the world of creation; Yetzirah, the world of formation; Asaya, the world of action. 72 angels dwell in Yetzirah, a realm of shifting forms and living shadows. They have no bodies, only matrices of force and will. To invoke an angel is to invite a cosmic force into the mind. The ritual is a test. The practitioner must purify, calculate, inscribe, pronounce. Any error can bring not blessing, but obsession, madness, or a slow spiritual erosion. There are stories, whispered, half-believed, of magicians who vanished, of minds shattered, of blessings that turned into curses. The angels are neither evil nor kind. They are forces, and to touch them is to risk being burned. Ritual of descent, invoking the names. Within the hush of midnight, the practitioner prepares. The room is dense with the scent of frankincense and myrrh, the flicker of candlelight casting sigils in shadow across the walls. Every movement is deliberate, every gesture a plea or a challenge to the cosmos. The parchment must be unblemished, the ink mixed with intent, the sigil of the chosen angel inscribed with a trembling, reverent hand. None of this is mere superstition, for the tradition insists that the smallest error may twist the energies invoked, unleashing consequences far beyond mortal reckoning. The heart of the ritual is the vibration of the name. It is chanted, whispered, sometimes merely traced on the air with halting breath. The Hebrew letters are not mere syllables, but living currents, each vibration a ripple through the fabric of the soul, each sound a key turning in the lock of creation. The psalm, associated with the angel, is recited not as rote, but as invocation, a call that is also a summons, a demand that is also a surrender. Rarely do the angels come as visions or voices. More often, there is a change in the atmosphere, a thickening of the air, a prickling of the skin. The sense of presence is unmistakable, an intelligence vast, indifferent, and wholly other, pressing in at the edges of perception. For the worthy, there may come insight, healing, or a sudden alignment of chance and desire. For others, there may come only confusion, obsession, or a haunting sense of having trespassed where no human ought. The shadow and the mirror, angels and the Goetic demons. What is often omitted from the popular lore is the horrifying symmetry between the 72 angels and their infernal counterparts, the 72 demons of the Goetia. In the ancient grimoires, each angel is said to be the jailer or mirror of a demon, each a balance to the other's power. The universe, as the Kabbalists teach, is not a battle between good and evil, but an intricate interplay of opposing forces, each necessary for the other's existence. To invoke an angel is to risk awakening its shadow. The magician who seeks the aid of Vihuya, for example, may unwittingly stir the Goetic spirit Baal. Each ritual thus becomes a negotiation, not merely with the angel's luminous presence, but with the darkness that trails behind it. The adept must be prepared to confront their own hidden fears, obsessions, and temptations, for what is summoned from the abyss will be shaped as much by the soul's shadows as by its aspirations. Some traditions insist that true mastery requires the integration of both forces, that the light of the angel must be balanced by the wisdom of the shadow. This is the great work, spoken of in hushed tones by alchemists and magicians. To reconcile opposites, to become whole, to make peace with both the heights of spirit and the depths of flesh. Few succeed. Most are broken in the attempt, undone by a darkness they refuse to see. The psychological price: madness, obsession, and awakening. The aftermath of invocation is rarely simple. For some, there is a period of elation, a sense of clarity or power that borders on the divine. Synchronicities proliferate, dreams become vivid and prophetic, and the world seems newly charged with meaning. But just as often, the descent brings confusion, melancholy, or a sense of being haunted. The mind, stretched beyond its ordinary bounds, struggles to contain the influx of archetypal force. In the annals of both Kabbalah and Western occultism, there are countless warnings. The Talmud tells of students driven mad by the study of the Merkava, the chariot of the angels. The Zohar cautions that only those pure in heart and intent should approach the mysteries. Renaissance magicians like Agrippa and Dee left behind diaries filled with both triumphant revelations and anguished confessions. The price of knowledge is never paid in coin, but in certainty, sanity, and sometimes the soul itself. Modern psychology may interpret these encounters as manifestations of the collective unconscious, eruptions of the shadow self given form by ritual and symbol. Yet even the most skeptical analyst must admit, the changes wrought are real, the consequences lasting. The angels, whether archetype or entity, do not leave their supplicants unchanged. The haunted history, legends and testimonies. In the cold archives of libraries and the dust-choked trunks of old families, stories linger. There are tales of rabbis in the shtetls of Eastern Europe who vanished after months of study, of strange weather following the invocation of a name, of miraculous recoveries and impossible reconciliations. Not all stories are so benign. There are accounts of madness, of families cursed for generations, of haunted houses where the air never clears. The Shem HaMephorash is not a safe inheritance. Its power is a double-edged sword. During the Renaissance, the angels were invoked in the courts of kings and the chambers of secret societies. John Dee's scryings with Edward Kelly became the stuff of legend. Visions of angels speaking in strange tongues, revealing prophecies and warnings, sometimes blessings, more often doom. The Golden Dawn, in their secret London temples, sought to systematize angelic invocation, mapping the 72 onto the tarot in a bid to render the ineffable manageable. Yet even they lost members to madness, obsession, and ruin. In the modern age, the angels are more accessible than ever. Names and sigils spread across the internet, rituals repackaged for the masses. But the old dangers remain. The Shem HaMephorash does not care for intention, only for precision and the willingness to pay the price. The Liturgy of Names, invoking the 72. To speak the names is to risk opening doors that cannot easily be closed. Vihuya, the shatterer of obstacles. Haziel, the reconciler of lovers and enemies. Cipher, the builder and the raiser. Each angel is a story, a lesson, a challenge. The psalm assigned to each is not a mere embellishment, but a formula, a spell woven of ancient longing and divine command. Practitioners may choose the angel who rules their date of birth, seeking to awaken latent virtues or heal ancestral wounds. Others select the name that aligns with a particular need, a business venture, a broken heart, a spiritual crisis. The results are as varied as the supplicants. Some are blessed, but more are tested, forced to confront the gap between what they desire and what is truly possible. The Shem HaMephorash is a net. To invoke one is, in some sense, to invoke all, to set in motion a cascade of forces that ripple through the soul and the world alike. The wise proceed with humility, the reckless with bravado. The outcome is never certain. The abyss gazes back, the enduring mystery. The Shem HaMephorash endures because the longing it answers endures. The yearning for transformation, for knowledge, for power, for healing. The angels are not relics. They are living equations, engines of creation and destruction, guardians of the threshold between the known and the unknowable. To name them is to awaken them, to feel their gaze in the marrow of the soul, to stand at the edge of wonder and horror. Every name is a door, every ritual a risk. The machinery of fate grinds on, indifferent to human desire. The abyss waits, patient and eternal, offering both salvation and oblivion for those with the courage, or the folly, to call. The alchemy of invocation, the subtle work of the soul. As the practitioner journeys deeper into the labyrinth of the Shem HaMephorash, the outer ritual becomes a mirror for the inner transformation. Each invocation, each recitation of a psalm, each carefully drawn sigil, is not merely an act directed outward, but a catalyst for change within. The alchemists of old spoke of turning lead into gold, But the true alchemy here is subtler and far more perilous. The transmutation of fear into wisdom, of desire into surrender, of the fragmented self into a vessel for the unnameable. This work is relentless. The angels, for all their might, do not offer comfort. They illuminate the cracks in the soul, exposing what is hidden, demanding what is withheld. The practitioner soon discovers that to approach the Shem HaMephorash is to be stripped of illusions. Pride, resentment, denial, each is brought into the light and tested in the fire of the name. Some withstand the trial, forged anew by suffering and insight. Others break, unable to bear the truth of what they are shown. The transformation is rarely linear. There are regressions, periods of darkness, nights haunted by doubt and despair. The world itself may seem to conspire against the seeker, as if the forces unleashed by the angels demand a reckoning not only within but without. Relationships falter, fortunes shift, health waxes and wanes. It is as though the invocation of the angels awakens the dormant energies of fate, setting in motion a sequence of events that test the resolve and integrity of the soul. And yet, for those who persevere, there are moments of clarity so profound that all suffering is forgotten. The angelic presence, when fully realized, is not merely a voice or a vision but a state of being, a sudden alignment with the cosmic order, a sense of meaning and purpose that transcends the petty anxieties of daily life. In these rare moments, the practitioner glimpses the world as the angels see it. Whole, interconnected, radiant with possibility. The guardians of the liminal, dreams, portents, and synchronicities. The impact of the Shem HaMephorash is not confined to the ritual chamber. Once invoked, the angels begin to move through the fabric of the seeker's life, weaving patterns that defy logic and expectation. Dreams become the first frontier, vivid, symbolic, sometimes prophetic. The angels speak in riddles, in images drawn from the depths of the unconscious, in encounters with ancestors, animals, or archetypal figures. Some dreams are comforting, others terrifying, but all carry the unmistakable signature of the angelic. A sense of significance beyond the personal, a brush with the numinous. Portents follow, a phrase overheard on the street, a book falling open to a meaningful passage, a sudden change in the weather. Each is interpreted as a sign, a message from the angels. Synchronicities multiply, clustering around the areas of life most affected by the invocation. The skeptic may dismiss these as mere coincidence, but the practitioner knows better. The world, once inert, is now alive with intention, as if the boundaries between matter and spirit have thinned. In the most intense cases, the angels manifest not only as external events but as internal shifts, sudden insights, changes in perception, spontaneous healings of old wounds. The seeker may find themselves acting with a confidence or compassion that seems to arise from outside themselves, as if guided by a force both intimate and vast. These experiences are often accompanied by a deep sense of gratitude, a feeling of being watched over, even loved, by intelligences beyond comprehension. But the shadow remains. Not all dreams are pleasant, not all synchronicities benign. The angels, in their role as agents of transformation, sometimes strip away the masks we wear, forcing us to confront the parts of ourselves we would rather ignore. The line between guidance and challenge is thin, and the seeker must learn to distinguish between the two. The hierarchies of power, choirs, spheres, and the tree of life. To truly grasp the scope of the Shem HaMephorash, one must understand the angelic hierarchies into which these beings are woven. The 72 are not isolated entities, but part of a grand cosmic order, each assigned to one of the 9 angelic choirs. Seraphim, cherubim, thrones, dominions, virtues, powers, principalities, archangels, and angels. These choirs, in turn, are mapped onto the 10 Sephiroth of the Tree of Life, the central symbol of Kabbalistic cosmology. Each angel radiates the qualities of its choir and sphere. The seraphim burn with the fire of pure love. The cherubim guard the mysteries of wisdom. The thrones embody divine justice. As the choirs descend the tree, their energies become more accessible but also more entangled with the complexities of the material world. The practitioner who invokes an angel touches not only the specific power it wields, but the entire network of relationships and correspondences that bind the angel to the cosmos. Astrologically, The angels are further aligned with the zodiac, the planets, and the hours of the day and night. This web of associations allows for precision in ritual timing, but also adds layers of complexity. To invoke the right angel at the right moment is to harmonize with the music of the spheres. To err is to introduce discord, with unpredictable consequences. The mapping of angels onto the tarot by the Golden Dawn and later esotericists is more than a technical curiosity. Each card becomes a portal, a visual and symbolic gateway to the angelic realm. The practitioner who meditates on a card while vibrating the angel's name may find the imagery coming alive, the boundaries between symbol and reality dissolving. The tarot thus serves as both map and compass, a means of navigating the labyrinth of the seven perils of power, hubris, temptation, and the fall. No exploration of the Shem HaMephorash would be complete without a reckoning with its dangers. The temptation to use the angels for personal gain, wealth, influence, revenge is ever present. The grimoires are filled with stories of those who sought to bend the divine to their will, only to be undone by their own hubris. The angels, it is said, brook no such presumption. They are not tools, but powers, not servants, but sovereign intelligences. To treat them as means to an end is to invite ruin. The greatest peril is not external but internal. The practitioner who becomes enamored of power, who seeks to command rather than commune, who forgets the necessary humility, risks being consumed by the very forces they invoke. The stories of the fallen, magicians driven mad, families cursed, communities torn apart, are warnings written in the blood and tears of those who came before. Yet, paradoxically, it is the very risk that makes the path worth walking. The Shem HaMephorash is not a system of control, but a crucible of transformation. The angels do not offer safety, but authenticity. They strip away the false, the comfortable, the self-serving, leaving only what is real. This is the true meaning of initiation, not the acquisition of secret knowledge, but the willingness to be changed by what one encounters. The endless descent, legacy and living tradition. The Shem HaMephorash is not a relic, frozen in the amber of history. It is a living tradition, renewed with every seeker who dares to pronounce the names, to draw the sigils, to walk the knife edge between light and shadow. In synagogues and sanctuaries, in bedrooms and basements, in the silence of the mind and the chaos of the world, the 72 continue their work. New generations bring new questions, new challenges, new forms of expression. Some approach the angels as archetypes, psychological forces to be integrated. Others as literal beings, messengers from a realm beyond. The debates are endless, the interpretations manifold, but the core remains. A yearning for contact, a longing for transformation, a willingness to risk certainty for the sake of truth. The internet, for all its noise and confusion, has become a modern temple. A place where seekers gather, share experiences, debate methods, offer warnings. The old dangers persist, but so too does the old hope. That by aligning with the 72, by surrendering to the current of the Shem HaMephorash, one might find healing, wisdom, or at the very least, a glimpse of the divine. Angels in the flesh, historical encounters and case studies. Across centuries and continents, there are testimonies, some written, some whispered, of those who have dared to invoke the 72 angels and found their lives transformed, for better or worse. In the dim candlelit study of a rabbi in 16th century Prague, neighbors would speak of nights disturbed by chants in an unearthly tongue and the flickering of lights behind shuttered windows. After months of isolation, the rabbi emerged a changed man. His hair whitened, his manner subdued, his gaze distant. He claimed to have spoken with Haziel, the angel of mercy, and received a boon of forgiveness for an ancient familial feud, but he never again spoke of what was asked in return. In Victorian London, a member of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn recorded his attempts to invoke Cipher, the builder and destroyer, in a battered diary. The results at first seemed miraculous. Debts were cleared, a failing business revived, a long-lost friend returned. Yet, as weeks wore on, the practitioner grew increasingly paranoid and insomniac, convinced he was being watched by something just beyond the edge of sight. The diary ends abruptly, the last entry a frantic warning, beware the price. The doors do not close as easily as they open. Elsewhere, In a small French village during the years of plague, an apocryphal tale tells of a healer who invoked Lelahel, the angel of health and light. She is said to have cured dozens before falling into a catatonic state, her lips moving in silent prayer, her eyes never again focusing on the world around her. Some called it sainthood, others possession. The truth, as ever, was lost in the shadows. These stories, whether legend or fact, point to the same underlying reality. The 72 are not passive energies, but active, demanding, and unpredictable. Their gifts are real, but so too are their demands. The practitioner is never merely a recipient, but a participant in a covenant of power and risk. The naming of power, the use of psalms and incantations. The invocation of an angel from the Shem HaMephorash is rarely a simple affair. Each angel is associated with a specific verse from the Book of Psalms, chosen for its resonance with the angel's essence. The psalm is not merely recited, but vibrated, intoned with precision, its syllables resonating in the bones and the air alike. The words are both shield and sword, opening the way for the angel's descent while protecting the practitioner from the full force of its presence. The incantation may be accompanied by gestures, by the drawing of sigils, by the lighting of candles in colors corresponding to the angel's planetary alignment. Some traditions prescribe fasting or ritual purification in advance. Others demand the sacrifice of sleep, the offering of blood or hair, the burning of sacred incense. The ritual is a drama, a choreography of intention and surrender, a declaration of readiness to be changed. It is said that the angels respond best to those who approach with humility and clarity of purpose. The psalm is not a spell to control, but a plea to commune, a recognition of the vast gulf between mortal and divine, and an offering of the self to whatever may come. Individual powers, individual dangers, exploring selected angels. To truly understand the Shem HaMephorash, it is instructive to look closely at a handful of its angels and their unique qualities, each a universe of power and peril. Vihuya, the first angel, presides over new beginnings, inspiration, and the courage to break free from bondage. Invoked in moments of despair or stagnation, Vihuya can bring a surge of creative energy, a sense of purpose where only confusion reigned. Yet, the same fire that inspires can also consume. The practitioner who invokes Vihuya without respect may find themselves swept up in changes beyond their control, their old life burned to cinders in the name of renewal. Haziel, the angel of mercy, is sought for forgiveness, reconciliation, and healing of old wounds. To call upon Haziel is to invite a reckoning with the past, to face the truth of one's actions and the pain one has caused. The mercy Haziel offers is absolute, but it is not cheap. It demands confession, restitution, and the willingness to let go of bitterness. Those who resist may find themselves haunted by dreams of those they have wronged, unable to move forward until the debt is paid. Nith-Haiah is the angel of occult wisdom, the opener of secret doors. Those who invoke Nith-Haiah often report sudden insights, flashes of understanding, or the unraveling of complex problems. Yet, the knowledge received is never neutral. It is a blade as much as a lantern. Some are consumed by the mysteries they uncover, unable to return to the world of ordinary concerns, their minds caught forever in the labyrinth of revelation. Lelahel, angel of health and illumination, brings healing, beauty, and artistic inspiration. Many have invoked Lelahel for recovery from illness or for the restoration of hope in times of darkness. But Lelahel's light can also expose what was hidden, bringing uncomfortable truths to the surface and forcing the practitioner to confront what must be healed before wholeness can be attained. Each angel offers a mirror as much as a gift. The seeker is shown not only what they desire, but what they must become to receive it. The living tradition, contemporary practitioners, and the digital age. In the modern world, the Shem HaMephorash has not faded. If anything, it has proliferated, spreading through books, websites, videos, and online forums. Contemporary practitioners, Jewish, Christian, pagan, and those of no fixed faith, experiment with the names and sigils, blending traditional rites with new forms of art, music, and meditation. Some approach the angels as psychological archetypes, integrating their qualities through journaling, dream work, or creative expression. Others adhere to the strictures of old grimoires, reconstructing rituals with painstaking attention to historical accuracy. A few blend the two, seeking a living balance between authenticity and innovation. There are dangers here, too, for the digital age amplifies both wisdom and folly. The proliferation of misinformation, the temptation to treat the angels as vending machines for desire, the trivialization of the sacred, these are the pitfalls of popular occultism. Yet, amidst the noise, genuine encounters occur. The Shem HaMephorash adapts, finding new vessels, new voices, new ways to awaken those who are ready. The unending descent. No matter the era or the method, the core experience remains the same. An encounter with the mystery at the heart of all things, a brush with the machinery of fate. The Shem HaMephorash is not a closed system, but an open wound, a place where the divine seeps into the world, where the boundaries between self and cosmos are torn and rewoven. The angels do not promise safety, only transformation. To invoke them is to accept a wager with the abyss, to risk madness for the sake of wisdom, to risk loss for the hope of healing, to risk the self for the chance of becoming something more. And so the seeker descends, again and again, drawn by a longing that is older than memory and deeper than fear. The names are spoken, the sigils traced, the prayers offered, and the world shudders, just a little, in response. The Shem HaMephorash endures, as it always has, at the edge of the known, at the threshold of terror and wonder. Its angels are waiting, patient and eternal, for those with the courage, or the folly, to call. Echoes in the chamber, the aftermath of invocation. After the candles have burned low and the sacred names have been whispered into the night, a peculiar stillness clings to the air. Practitioners often describe a sense of suspension, as if the world holds its breath, waiting for the consequences of the invocation to unfurl. Time itself can feel altered, with dreams thickening and the waking world shimmering at the edges with a subtle, unnameable charge. For days, sometimes weeks, the effects ripple outward. Chance encounters, strange coincidences, and a persistent, uncanny sense of being watched. This aftermath is not always gentle. Some report a spiritual hangover, a heaviness or agitation that lingers, requiring time to process. The nervous system, stretched by contact with the angelic, may oscillate between exhilaration and exhaustion. Old patterns are disturbed, relationships shift. The work of the angels is not to smooth over the surface, but to dredge the depths. What is stirred up must be faced, integrated, or released. For a few, the experience opens a wellspring of creativity or compassion. They find themselves writing, painting, composing, or simply living in a manner more attuned to the hidden harmonies of the world. For others, the period after invocation is marked by challenge, even crisis. The shadow rises to meet the light, and the old self resists transformation. In these times, the wisdom of the tradition is clear. Patience, humility, and continued practice are the only remedies. Most practitioners, with time, learn to recognize these cycles. They come to see the angelic work not as a single event, but as an ongoing conversation, a dialogue between the finite and the infinite, the personal and the cosmic. Each invocation is a stanza in a poem that is never finished, a step on a spiral path that leads ever deeper into the mystery. Angels and the community, the hidden influence. While the journey of the Shem HaMephorash is often solitary, its effects can ripple through entire families, communities, and even nations. There are stories of a single invocation echoing through generations. A curse broken, a blessing that multiplies, a trauma finally brought to light and healed. Some families, knowingly or not, carry the mark of the angels, an affinity for spiritual work, an uncanny luck or burden that shapes their destinies. In the wider world, the influence of the 72 can sometimes be glimpsed in moments of collective crisis or revelation. Periods of social upheaval, sudden outbreaks of peace, or the inexplicable resolution of long-standing conflicts. These, too, are attributed by some mystics to the workings of the angelic machinery. The angels are not concerned solely with individual fates. Their reach extends into the fabric of history, their touch felt wherever the pattern of the world is most in flux. Some communities have developed rituals of communal invocation, gathering at auspicious times to call upon the angels for protection, healing, or guidance. In these rituals, The sense of awe and terror is amplified, each participant lending strength to the collective intent. The energy raised is palpable, the boundaries between the seen and unseen momentarily dissolved. Yet even in community, the warning persists. The angels are not to be invoked lightly, nor for purposes of vanity or control. Their power is sovereign, their wisdom unyielding. The community that forgets this may find itself undone by the very forces it sought to harness. The forbidden and the exalted, mystical extremes. At the farthest edges of the tradition, there are those who push the boundaries, who seek to bind all 72 angels at once, or to inscribe their names upon their bodies, homes, or even the land itself. These acts are spoken of in hushed tones, for the results are unpredictable and often catastrophic. Some who attempt such feats are driven mad, others disappear, and a rare few attain a kind of sanctity or prophetic vision. The mystics who walk these razor-thin paths often report experiences that defy description. Visions of the universe as a living web of light, encounters with beings who speak in paradox and flame, moments of absolute terror followed by a peace beyond understanding. The language of ordinary life is insufficient for these revelations. Only poetry, music, or silence will suffice. What unites these seekers, whether they succeed or fail, is a willingness to be utterly transformed, to surrender all certainty for the sake of truth. They become, in the words of the tradition, chariots of the name, vehicles for the descent of the divine into the world. Their lives are rarely easy, but they are luminous, marked by a radiance that is unmistakable to those who have eyes to see. The mirror of the abyss, self-reflection, and the angelic. Ultimately, the work of the Shem HaMephorash is a work of self-confrontation. The angels, for all their cosmic power, serve as mirrors, reflecting the seeker's deepest hopes, fears, wounds, and potential. The ritual of invocation becomes a ritual of seeing, of facing the truth that we are both more and less than we imagine. The abyss that gazes back is not only the unknown realm of the divine, but the uncharted territory of the self. Each name, each sigil, each psalm is a map of the soul's possible transformations, its perils and its promises. The practitioner who perseveres learns to read these maps, to travel the inner landscapes with courage and humility. The most profound encounters with the angels are those that lead to greater integration, compassion, and wisdom, not only for oneself, but for the world. Shem HaMephorash, in the end, is not a path of escape from the world, but a path of returning to it, changed, deepened, and charged with a responsibility to serve as a bearer of the light glimpsed in the darkness. The Shem HaMephorash and the future. As the world hurtles into an uncertain future, the mysteries of the Shem HaMephorash remain as relevant as ever. The hunger for meaning, for connection, for transformation, is undiminished. New generations of seekers arise, armed with new tools and new questions. The angels wait, patient as ever, ready to answer the call of those bold or desperate enough to seek them. Modern technology offers new avenues for exploration, a proliferation of apps, digital grimoires, virtual communities. Yet the essence of the work remains unchanged. The angelic cannot be reduced to pixels or sound bites. It demands the full presence of the soul, the willingness to risk, to suffer, to be changed. The Shem HaMephorash is not a relic, but a living current, flowing through the heart of time. Its angels are not locked in the past, but alive in every moment of genuine encounter with the sacred and the strange. Practical guidance for the modern seeker. For those who feel the stirrings of the Shem HaMephorash, the question arises, how to approach this living mystery in a manner both safe and fruitful. The first counsel, echoed throughout the ages, is humility. The angels do not respond to arrogance or entitlement. Rather, it is the sincere, open-hearted seeker, aware of their own limitations, who is most likely to receive the true gifts of the names. Preparation is essential. Just as the ancient mystics purified themselves before approaching the sacred, so too should the modern practitioner make ready. This may involve fasting, meditation, journaling, or time spent in nature. The creation of a dedicated ritual space, no matter how small, helps to mark the transition from ordinary to sacred time. Cleanliness, both physical and mental, becomes a form of respect, a sign to the angels that the invitation is genuine. Study is the next step. The would-be invoker should become intimately familiar with the angel they wish to call. The name, sigil, psalm, traditional associations, and potential dangers. Reading widely, from the Zohar, the Cipher Haziel, the grimoires of the Renaissance, and contemporary commentaries, builds a framework of understanding, allowing intuition to root itself in knowledge. The ritual itself need not be elaborate. What matters most is intention. Light a candle, draw the angel's sigil, recite the psalm, and speak the name with reverence. Record every impression, dream, or synchronicity that follows. These are the angel's answers, subtle or dramatic. If fear or discomfort arises, do not ignore it. Instead, reflect, ground yourself, and seek guidance from trusted mentors or elders. The work is not meant to be done in isolation. The wisdom of the community is a safeguard against delusion. Above all, patience is required. The angels may answer swiftly, or their response may unfold over months or years. Their gifts are rarely what the seeker expects, but often precisely what is needed for the next stage of growth. Gratitude, even for difficult lessons, is itself a form of invocation, opening the heart to deeper transformation. The angelic language, sigils, psalms, and symbols. The language of the angels is not limited to words. It encompasses geometry, number, music, and the subtle language of dreams. The sigil of each angel is a visual key, a symbolic condensation of its essence. Drawing or meditating on the sigil can open channels of communication beyond ordinary thought. The Psalms, too, are more than poetry. They are vibrational codes, resonating with the angelic frequencies. Chanted in Hebrew or translated with devotion, they become bridges between worlds. Some practitioners experiment with musical settings, incense blends, or even movement and dance, each an offering, each a form of dialogue with the ineffable. Numbers also play a part. The angel's position in the sequence, its astrological hour, its corresponding tarot card. These correspondences are not arbitrary, but reflect the hidden architecture of creation. To notice patterns of number in daily life after an invocation is to glimpse the angel's signature, woven into the fabric of reality. The ethics of angelic work. With great power comes great responsibility. The Shem HaMephorash, for all its beauty, is not a toy. The angels are not to be treated as genies or servants, nor their names as passwords to easy gain. Every invocation is a pact, whether the practitioner realizes it or not, a mutual agreement to work together for the highest good. It is considered unethical to attempt to harm others, manipulate free will, or summon angels for purely selfish ends. The tradition teaches that such actions will rebound, bringing suffering to all involved. Instead, the highest aim is always alignment, to bring oneself and one's world into harmony with the divine order, to heal rather than wound, to elevate rather than debase. Practitioners are encouraged to offer prayers for the well-being of others, the healing of the planet, and the upliftment of all beings. In this way, the power of the Shem HaMephorash becomes a blessing that radiates outward, transforming not only the seeker but the world itself. A living tapestry, the Shem HaMephorash in art and culture. Beyond the realm of ritual, the 72 angels have inspired generations of artists, poets, musicians, and visionaries. Their names appear in illuminated manuscripts, stained glass windows, sculptures, and symphonies. Each artistic work is an invocation in its own right, a channel through which the angels enter the collective imagination. Modern creative projects, films, novels, visual art, and even digital installations draw upon the symbolism of the Shem HaMephorash, reinterpreting its mysteries for contemporary audiences. Some artists report experiences akin to invocation, dreams that guide the hand, melodies that seem to compose themselves, images that arrive fully formed, as if dictated by an unseen presence. In this way, the tradition remains vibrant, ever adapting, ever renewing. The angels, far from being relics of an ancient past, continue to inspire and challenge, shaping the evolution of culture as surely as they shape the destinies of individuals. The Shem HaMephorash as a path of wholeness. For many, the journey with the 72 is ultimately a path of integration. The angels, with all their gifts and terrors, invite the seeker to become whole, to bring together the lost and fragmented parts of the self, to embrace both light and shadow, to stand upright at the center of their own being. This is not the work of a single lifetime. The tradition speaks of souls who return, again and again, drawn by the promise and peril of the names. Each cycle brings new lessons, deeper understanding, greater capacity for love and wisdom. At the heart of the Shem HaMephorash is a paradox. The more deeply one surrenders to the mystery, the more fully one becomes oneself. The angels do not erase individuality. They sanctify it, revealing the divine spark hidden in every soul. To walk this path is to become both less and more than human, to participate in the endless dance of creation and return. Final reflections, the threshold of light and shadow. As our exploration draws towards its close, one truth emerges above all others. The Shem HaMephorash is not a destination, but a threshold. It is the edge where the known meets the unknown, where the self meets the infinite, where courage and awe are the only guides. For those who would walk this path, may they do so with open eyes, open hearts, and an abiding respect for the mysteries they seek to touch. May the angels guide, challenge, and protect, and may every descent into the abyss yield a return bearing the light of wisdom. The 72 wait, as they always have, at the crossroads of fate and freedom, at the boundary between terror and wonder, ready to answer the call of the soul.